know about you, but I'm inspired by all of these presentations. Our next presenter comes from India, Rajneesh Jain with Avani.
Hello everyone. My name is Rajneesh Jain from Avani. I'm one of the co-founders. Avani is a non-profit that works for technology development and livelihood promotion in central Himalayan region of India. And for those of you who have not traveled there, this picture is of the real mountains. We convert pine needles into electricity. We've set up a 9 kilowatt gasifier system, which has been running for last 3 years successfully and have been supplying electricity for our center. And now we propose to upscale, pilot this technology at a commercial scale, where we propose to set up 3 120 kilowatt each systems in 3 contiguous villages in this area. And for that, we need to raise $450,000 over a period of 2 years. We'll a little more details now. Now, try to dig deeper into the problem. I'd like you to meet Basanti Devi, this young woman who lives with her husband and 3 children in Balta village in Almora district of our area. For generations, her family has been living in this village. Her family has been very fortunate to have found livelihood options. They've depended on the forest for fuel wood, for fodder for their cattle, for water, for medicinal herbs, for timber, and everything. But Basanti Devi today is not that fortunate. She has to walk 4 miles every day to get fuel wood from the forest. Speak to her and she recounts that she's having to walk longer and longer every year to get that fuel wood. And water and fodder are becoming a problem for her family. They're so important for their livelihood because the cattle are dependent on the fodder and water both. Come summers every year, the forest around her village is on fire. And this is because of the pine needles that form a thick carpet on the forest floor. These pine needles are highly flammable. They are a cause of the quick spread of forest fire, and they burn anything that's trying to come up. Any native species that are trying to come up on the forest floor, they are very quickly burned down. Let's have a closer look at where she lives. This is in the blue is the part of India, the Uttarakhand state where she lives. The state shares its eastern border with Nepal and northern border with Tibet. And there are about 200,000 households, almost 1 million people in these 3 districts, Almora, Bageshwar, and Pithoragarh, where we work. These are the families which live close to the large tracts of pine forest. There are about 3.5 million people in the entire state that actually suffer those fires year after year, out of a total population of 11 million in this state. Now, as the fire rages in the forest around her village, she wonders, what if all this fire could be used to cook in her home and maybe generate some more energy for other work? But she knows she can't do it because pine needles are highly flammable. She cannot control the fire. So she needs some technology intervention to be able to do that. And this is exactly what we do. We convert destructive pine needles into clean and affordable energy, which generates incomes for people, which regenerates biodiversity because it's removing the cause of spread of forest fires and giving those saplings a chance to grow, and it also reduces carbon emissions. Now, before we have a closer look at the value chain of what we do, have a look at this picture. This is a typical pine forest in our area. Nothing else grows in this forest. You can actually look through it. There's only a thick carpet of pine needle, not a blade of grass. And people hate it because there's not a blade of grass. They need all that grass for their cattle. So what they do? They put it on fire so that they'll get rid of the pine needle and some grass will grow. But what happens is, with the fires, the forests start looking like in the third picture. It degrades completely because there's nothing else that grows. And we need to, this is what we seek to reverse. How do we do it? We propose to collect pine needles. That's what we do in our current system. We collect pine needles from the forest floor. They are transported to a central facility. Now, this facility, what does it do? This is a gasifier. You can see that there is a, I don't know if people can see, but this is the gasifier chamber where the pine needles are burnt under control conditions. 15% of those burn to bring the rest of 85% to a temperature of about 600 degrees Celsius, at which the pine needles start volatilizing. And those are all combustible gases that we get. Those combustible gases are cleaned. There's a series of filters you can see at the back, and those filters clean the gases before they are channeled into an engine, and this engine it runs on 100% gas, drives an alternator which generates energy, electricity. This electricity will be sold to the local grid utility. Now, which is mandated to buy 3% of its total energy needs, electricity needs, from the renewable energy sources, and at a premium price. This is our major source of revenue also. The other thing that the gasifier does is about 10% of the pine needles do not gasify. They get converted into charcoal, something like what Jason was talking about before. And that charcoal will be used to fuel the kitchen. So Basanti Devi now can actually buy this charcoal instead of going and collecting fuel wood. What it also does is, when we remove the cause of the forest fire, the forests start looking like this. This is the actual real picture from where the pine needles have been removed for a couple of years now. Now, in doing that, we not only regenerate biodiversity, but also save carbon emissions. And carbon emissions, because we are stopping the forest fires, all that carbon dioxide being dumped in the atmosphere. We also save Basanti Devi from cutting trees for cooking in her kitchen, and that saves a lot of carbon emissions. The value of this carbon emissions is almost about $20,000 a year for one system, though it's very difficult to kind of get a credit for that, so we haven't yet built it in our business plan, but this is a future revenue possibility that we are building on. Now, the question you might ask me is, when Basanti Devi is so poor, how can she actually buy charcoal? Now, members of her family and other members of the village will actually go collect pine needles, which will be sold to the utility, and that will afford them income to be able to buy all the amenities that they need in the village. Have a look at the finances. What we need is actually, we need to spend about $200,000 every year for 3 years to be able to buy 3 systems. We need a investment of $300,000 in the first year and $150,000 in the second year, and after that, at this level, we do not seek any more investments. We make about $28,000 every year in the first year from one gasifier system, but when it goes to 3, it rises to about $38,000 a year, which is much higher. So there's a very clear profitability thing here. The ending cash curves looks like this. It actually shows a robust growth in the 3rd year when we do not take any more loans, and we can start either repaying the loan, or if it's a grant, then we can keep setting new systems up, and that's how it looks. Now, what are the challenges? The technology is one of the major things that we needed to work on. We adapted the technology to pine needle.